Hey guys, it's Alyssa from AlyssaNalani.com and LiveWellStayFocused.com. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is very special because, as you saw from the title, it is part of the 25 Days of Planner Tips collaboration, which is hosted by Miss Tamra, the paper and pen girl. I really enjoy this series. It's such a fun, collaborative conversation here in the planner community on YouTube. And so I just encourage you to make sure to watch the entire series. It's going to run all the way through till Christmas. Then Tamara's going to wrap it all up with her final comments on the 26th. I hear there are going to be giveaways. There are going to be live premieres. You don't want to miss out on all the fun. And this is such a fun time of year. It is Christmas time, which is my favorite. It's goal setting season. A lot of us are picking out or have picked out the planner or planners that we want to use in the new year. We're reflecting on the past year. We're setting goals for the new year. And it's just a really great time. And so I hope you will watch all the videos, join in on the conversation, and it's our goal as collaborators to make sure that you walk away from this series with takeaways, with things that you can try, things to think about as you are closing out the old year and looking forward to the new. So I hope you enjoy all of it. Now, if you have been following the series thus far, then that means you came over from Lauren's channel. She's over at Plan with Laura, and she did day number 3 in the series. And now you're here on my channel for day number 4. So if you're here for the first time because of the collaboration, then welcome. It's nice to have you here, and I hope you enjoy our planner chat. Now, you can see how long this video is going to be. I have no idea how long it's going to be, but I invite you to get comfortable. I'm here in my chair next to my tree, which is my favorite part of the house right now. So get comfy, maybe get you something warm to drink or cool, depending on where you're at in the world and what makes you most comfortable. We're just going to have a chat, and we're going to talk about this year's theme, which is all about planner accomplishments. All right, so planner accomplishments. Tamara has asked us to share an accomplishment that we've experienced as a result of using a planner or having a planner system. And at first I wasn't sure how I wanted to answer this because I didn't just want to go to my planner or my power sheets and find a random thing that I was able to check off for the year or in a past year. I really wanted something that was going to best reflect my planner development or evolution, if you will. I wanted something that was going to kind of give the general view of how planning has helped me over the years. I have been consistently planning for the past 8.5, 9 years, so almost a decade, if not a decade. And as I was thinking about how that has evolved over time and how I've developed as a person and as a planner, and some of the things that I've gotten done in the past years, the thing that really stuck out to me that has sort of been most recent development, but has definitely been the result of all of this time that has passed, was the fact that planning has absolutely helped me to develop a personal lifestyle. So my short answer to the question is that having a planner or planner system has helped me to develop a personal lifestyle. So great, that's the short answer, but what does that actually mean? So what has developed over the past several years has been this desire to refine my approach to life. So I don't know about you, but I'll often look at other women, men and women, but specifically women, and I'll think, man, she has poise. She carries herself so well. I would really love to carry myself that well. She speaks very well. She pauses before she just lets words come out of her mouth. I would like to be a better steward of the words that come out of my mouth. She, man, she has such an elegant or classy wardrobe. I would love to dress in a way that just looks effortless, that's put together. So, you look at other people and you find the things that you admire about them, and you start to think, man, I would love to do that too. Well, that's all well and good, but if you really want to make changes in your life, you have to have some sort of action plan. You have to have a way that you're going to get from point A, where you're at now, to point B, where you would like to be. And I think a lot of us carry this sort of dialogue or this thought process in our heads where we're looking at the world around us and thinking, oh man, I'd really love to have that skill, or I'd really love to develop that character trait, or I'd really like to try that and see if that would work in my season of life. But we don't necessarily take those things, those thoughts, and put them into action because we're so busy living the current life that we're living, right? We're, working the job, taking care of the kids, working on our relationships, trying to stay afloat financially, paying off debt, and all of the things that make up our everyday lives. So I think what planning has done has helped me to see my life with my eyes. And I've said this before in previous planner videos where, when you're planning, and it doesn't matter what system you use, it doesn't matter what tools you prefer, when you can see your life on paper, when you can work out what's happening in your brain on paper, that's really valuable information because we can over time look and say, I'm really good at habit tracking. Like that's a really good tool for me. Or if you're like me, I really stink at habit tracking and I have to decide whether or not I'm going to continue to use that tool and figure out a way to become better at it, or I'm going to scrap it because it's just not helpful and I can do something else that is going to be of more use and more benefit to my process. We can look at our planners, we can look at what we've written down and say, man, I have this tendency I have this tendency to say yes to things that I would really not rather do. And that can tell you, well, this is just a season and I'm just gonna have to put up with it for the time being until something changes. Or, you know what? I don't have to put up with this right now. I can say no and choose something else. We can take a look at what we have on our planner and say, I spend a whole heck of a lot of time on this thing when really, based on the season that I am in life or whatever my priorities are, I probably should be spending more time doing this thing. And so our planners can give us really important information, and over time we can take that information and we can say, okay, I really want to approach my life in XYZ manner. I really want to spend my time with ABC things, fill in the blank. I really want to make this kind of impact. I really want my life to be, I really want it to be a testament to what I say is important or what I've placed value in. And if we don't have that, record of what our lives are actually like, not the narrative that we have in our head. Because, honestly, we can tell ourselves things that aren't true, that aren't part of our reality. And so, we may think, oh yeah, I'll take care of it. I'll get it done. When in reality, you've been saying that to yourself for the past 5 years or decade. Or now their opinion doesn't matter. They don't know what they're talking about. I'm on top of this. I can handle it. When really you can't. And there are probably people in your life who care about you, who are trying to tell you how to maybe handle something better. So now I'm at a point in my life where I have all of this information. It's a bit spotty at times because there have been seasons where I didn't plan as well. But even that is important information to consider. But I'm at this point in my life where I can look back and say, all right, these are the things that matter. This is what's important. This is the direction I want to go in. Here's what I've proven to be true about my life, at least in this particular season. This is my track record with certain challenges or certain habits or whatever. And I can take all of that information and say, okay, now here's how I want to live my life. And it's really funny because we talk a lot about planner peace in this community and whether or not it exists, whether or not it's up to the particular book that we're using or set of books or systems or tools that we're using, or whether it's something else. And I'm not saying that this is the key to planner peace, but I will say, at least for me, this sort of shift in mindset, it has been, and it will continue to be a very big part or a very large variable of what I would consider to be planner peace. Because here's the thing, at least from my vantage point, if you don't have a framework for how you want to show up for life, then it's really easy to get bogged down and lost in the day-to-day, the week-to-week, the month-to-month, year after year. And I know a lot of us can look back and go, man, like, what did I spend my time doing? Why did I waste so much time on X? Why didn't I take advantage of, A, B, and C? Why did I think that this was important when really looking back, that was so much more important? And a lot of people have regrets, and it's really sad. So I've discovered that having a lifestyle that is not centered around the current, my current moment or the current season that I'm at in life, but rather centered around the broader view of how I want to live my entire life, the perspective, the values, all of that, is such a helpful tool when it comes to planning my year, my months, my weeks, and handling my days. All right, I hope all of that made sense. Let's take it from theoretical to practical, and I'm going to explain how this works in my life. So this is something that I've just recently finished putting together last year. Was it last year? Man, it feels like a while, but it also doesn't feel like that long. But I think it was last year. But it's a lifestyle framework that I made for myself, and I call it the Live Well 6. And if you've been following me, especially in my last video where I shared my planner stack, then you've heard me talk about it. And it's really just a set of categories that I use to organize how I approach my everyday life. And they are as follows. Number 1 is Live Well Faithfully, which is all about spiritual growth and development. Number 2 is Live Well Physically, which, as you can imagine, is all about taking care of yourself from head to toe. The third one is Live Well Socially, which is all about our relationships and our etiquette. So how we actually show up in our engagements with other people. And then number 4 is Live Well Environmentally, which is all about how we take care of our spaces and steward our resources. Number 5 is Live Well Vocationally, which is all about the work that we do, whether that's paid or unpaid, doesn't matter. And then number 6, the final one, is Live Well Avocationally, which is all about rest and recreation, but also just cultivating and developing our talents and skill sets that we can use, as hobbies, just to, enjoy ourselves and recharge, but also maybe even to benefit others. So that is the framework that I developed for myself. And any goal that I want to pursue can fall in any of those categories. And so as I'm thinking about what do I want to do in the new year, what do I want to accomplish, what kind of decision do I need to make in this situation, I can take a look at the Live Well 6 and say, okay, these are my priorities for my life. And I want to make sure that one of these isn't taking too much precedent unnecessarily over something else. It helps me to think about balance. So I've been looking at this past year and how unbalanced it has been. I hustled really, really hard in 2022. And a lot of that was necessary, but I could have gone about it better. So Live Well Vocationally got a lot of space and time, in my life, but I could have balanced that better with all of the rest of the Live Wells. And so it really just kind of helps you to determine where you're spending your time and other resources, where you can maybe let up, where you can be more gracious to yourself or to others, and give you like a rubric for how, not just how you want to approach your life, but the impact that your choices are going to make on the other areas and the people that, are around you, that you do life with. And so to kind of circle back to where this question started off, I don't think I would have gotten to this place of having developed my own sort of framework or lifestyle had I not planned, had I not had this record of how I was living my life and how I was approaching things and what I was doing well at and what I was not doing well at all. If I didn't have all of that information, I don't think I would have come up with this approach as far as how I wanted to show up for, my 30s and beyond. And so planning has really given me such helpful information for how I want to live the rest of my life. And honestly, if we don't have that kind of clarity, then Because I've seen, and you've seen it, I know you've seen it, I've seen it, where people look back and they're like, man, I missed out on so much. I don't want to reach even just 35 or 40 or 50. That's not that long from now. I don't want to reach, 70 and 80 and look back and regret or have regrets because of things that I could have had better control of. Obviously, we're going to regret things that were just out of our control, right? And there's a lot of things that we can't control. But as I have said multiple times on my channel, we should stay in control of the things that we can control. And so having a lifestyle framework, having a way of showing up, of presenting yourself, of just having a way of making decisions that are in alignment with what matters most to you, that's important. And again, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but I wouldn't have gotten there without planning. So here's the takeaway, a couple of things. Number one, if you don't have a set of categories that you use to make up the framework of your personal lifestyle, then I encourage you to get on that. You can make up one of your own that makes sense to your brain, or you can use the Live Well 6 if you'd like. I have a whole series on my blog where I go into detail of what each of these categories means and the different areas of life that fall into each of those categories and how you can use them. And you're free to riff off of that if you would like. I have a whole little personal rings set up that I'm going to make into my Live Well 6 planner. That's something that I'm still working on. I haven't finished putting it together, but once I have that, I'll do a flip of it so you can see how this works out in a planner situation. So if that's something you're interested in, then definitely stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, definitely think about what your categories are, what you want your lifestyle to be, because it doesn't matter what season of life you're in, that lifestyle framework can remain consistent. What you do with that, what you do in each of those categories is going to change as your life changes, as you have to respond to what's going on in the world. I mean, if there's anything that we've learned in the past few years is that you have to be on your toes and respond to the unknown, to the unexpected. And whatever happens, that lifestyle can remain constant, which is a beautiful thing. It's something that you can have a level of control over. So that's number one. The second takeaway, I think, would be to reflect on what your planner past tells you. So whether you've been planning for, a decade or more, or whether you just started planning this year on a consistent basis, think about what the information that you've collected so far is telling you about your life, and use it to help you make decisions for the future. Your planner is going to tell you a lot of different things. Some of the information you're really going to like. You're going to be like, wow, that was great. I, accomplished that goal, or I finished that project, or I developed this skill, or whatever. Some of the information you might not like. I mean, there's a lot of information in my planners about myself, just like my quirks and, habits and challenges and things that I'm not particularly fond of, but that's good. That tells me where I can make change, where I'm starting out, and it can clue me in to what I want to, accomplish in the future, or what I want to be, or who I want to be in the future. And those are really, really good reference points to have. Not everybody considers that. So if you are a planner, then take advantage of the information that you have and make it work for you. I hope that was helpful, you guys. If you have any questions or comments, you know where to leave them. And let me know if you have categories that you use for your personal lifestyle framework. Let me know what they are. I would love to see them. I like to see how other people organize their lives. I mean, this is what we do here on YouTube, right? We like to get ideas from each other. So please share them if you already have them. Again, you can find my blog series, my Live Well 6 blog series on my website. It's linked in the description box. And stay tuned for future videos where I talk more about the Live Well 6. Also, if you'd like a little bit more help and assistance and encouragement in your goal setting, then you can check out my goal setting course called Build a Better Year 2023. The link is in the description box and you can check it out. There are 12 lessons in the course. There's a whole workbook that you can download and use. There are a couple of freebies, and there's even a bonus bundle with some extras from my digital shop that you can check out. So it's all there linked in the description box, and I hope that it is a tool that you find useful. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Tomorrow, make sure that you continue the 25 days of planner tips with Jack over at her channel. She is Jack here on YouTube, and she is going to continue the series with day number 5. So you don't want to miss out. She is linked down in the description box, and I'm going to be watching along with you and enjoying the rest of the series right beside you. So have fun, have a great holiday season. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I look forward to seeing you in my next video, and have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.